Yo, what is going on? We are alive. We're here. Yes, there's going to be a 10-minute delay because we do not want any type of stream sniping, but welcome in. We have here Luna versus Mega I Donahue. but yeah, as you guys can see on the layout here, we are playing Blaziken versus Jolteon. This is going to be a very interesting match, and not only that, we are playing a Greninja Blaziken variant, and you know, that variant has been super popular within the last couple of days, and overall I will say this will be a interesting match, so I could give you guys the most accurate results right here. Somebody is definitely up a game. Let me just tell you who. So right now, the Blaziken player is up one game. This is game number 2, and we got the Jolteon EX out here already with 1 energy, and it's gonna be able to swing. So this is looking in the favor for the Jolteon deck right now. And not only that, you get to abuse the Jolteon 20 pings across the board, which is pretty good if you are in that Jolteon position over here. Yeah, no, we're in a crazy part of the format where literally, like, Mega Manatric won Pocket Mads' tournament. Yeah, it was pretty much a good meta call that you could play that. Well, I mean, because there's a lot of sweet backs, right, in general during that time. But right now, we're heading into, like, the wild, wild west when it comes to Pocket. But again, thank you guys for coming through and watching this tournament. This is the first collaboration I did with UMBREON, and, it's a little, we're working our best to get this run out and smooth. Looks like the tournament was running smooth, so I have no complaints here. Definitely started it a little bit late because I had to do something personal, issues. I couldn't start the tournament if I was here, because then no judges would be present, or nobody would be present to run the tournament. So things happen, but everybody here is enjoying the tournament. Free to enter, by the way, so if you have anything. But here we go. We got Luna taking game number 2 here, and we're gonna go into game number 3. Both players definitely in the same record, and in this matchup, it really depends on your, what do you call it? You need your Jolteon to hit the board as fast as possible, and for the Blaziken player, you literally need a high roll. I feel like when people play Blaziken, like this deck, you have to high roll like some sort of thing, whether it be the Blaziken or the Greninja. But like, if you could get the Blaziken out first, like that thing alone could just like win you games here. Greninja is just like basically an enhancement to the deck that would like at least help you get to your goal a lot quicker. But here we are, game number 3. Who's gonna take it? I don't know. Chat, let me know who you're rooting for. We got a Heatmore lead into a Stampede EV. So right here, having access to the rare candy, Pokeball, and Professor's Research, you're gonna have the ability to like thin out your deck before you research, if you want to start looking for your Torchics or Blaziken, because I feel like you Pokeball first to look for the Torchic, because whatever you get from the research, you get from the research, right? But you ended up getting the Froakie, which, it is going to be one line at the very least of your, evolutionary line. But, yo, back to back, getting the Torchic into the... Yo, when I tell you high roll, wait, this is interesting. Did he just let the energy go to the grave? That's kind of crazy. I mean, at least give it to the Torchic and chill, Did we just witness all the same thing? Nah, that can't be. That can't be. Anyways, I'm a, I'm gonna pretend like we didn't see that. Oh man. Alright, so let me just check something out. So we dropped the training arena, getting the 80 damage off the Jolteon. You know, training arena and Jolteon definitely go hand in hand for sure. Like, that's the best combo since bread and butter. Let me check one thing. I don't want to mess with my OBS settings. Somehow... Oh, okay, there we go. Oh, that's interesting. My Twitch is gonna be hella late, but you know what? It is what it is. There is a 10-minute delay for sure. So for some reason, my there is a little window on my OBS. That's why you kept hearing all of that. But the Blaziken comes out right in time to take care of the Jolteon that was doing a lot of damage. Right now, Luna is behind on energy. So, you know, definitely needs to potentially put the energy on the Eevee in the back and pray the other one pops off. So definitely be a good way to take care of this. Alright, so let's get it. So we're gonna research into candy and Pokeball, which, you know, having the extra candy is kind of useful here because you're gonna be able to get that Greninja out. So right now, definitely retreating on the Blaziken is gonna help you out, but, you know, well, they were forced to because of Sabrina, so that definitely softened the blow. If they have a access to the baby Jolteon here, they could get another free knockout on the Torchic, and that could be huge here too. And you know what's kind of crazy? The simple fact that they have to apply an energy to Blaziken every time they attack, they will be taking 20 damage. And the Copycat going for the Hail Mary. Do they get the Jolteon EX in time? It's not there. It's not there. That's kind of unfortunate, but anything can happen. Anything can happen. We do play one Sabrina, and the Sabrina has been used up, so that's the unfortunate part on the Jolteon side of things. Alright, so Jolteon gets knocked out. That's going to be the second point for Donahue here. Are we going to see the Mega... Are we going to see the Jolteon EX? Imagine there was a Mega Jolteon EX. That would be insane. That would be insane. And that's going to wrap it up for this game right here. Good games for sure. Congrats. It was definitely interesting game to see. Now let me see if I could find another game for y'all. Potentially something in top 64. Oh, wait. Let me mute myself. Muting myself would be pretty valid right now. Let me hide that. So I'm gonna take a quick peek. Don't mind me. I'm gonna try to get you guys another game here. Oh, this seems like. Oh, let me. Okay, so this seems like a good game that we could take a quick look at. Let me double check if I could find these two players. Alright, so I do have the deck list. So let's pull up the Miraidon. It's gonna be Miraidon versus Meowscarada. Definitely two interesting decks here. Let me clear most of this cache here. And then I could grab the Meowscarada list. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. Definitely a lot of battles to go through. If I click here, there we go. We got the Meowscarada Ogerpon versus Magneton Miraidon for sure. So let me actually share out the stream that we are currently live. Again, thank you guys for your patience. Also, do me a solid, make sure to like the stream if you guys are enjoying it. There are a lot of battles, and I am curious to see what's gonna end up taking everything. Wonder if we're live on Twitch yet. Not yet. It's gonna take a while. Okay, sure. So here we are, attacking with Ogerpon, which unfortunately it's only gonna have 30 HP. Not gonna be enough to wrap it up here. Don't tell me this match is already gonna finish. That would be insane. Let me see who's up in this match. Okay, it looks like we are going to be heading into a game 3. This is still top 128 for sure. So let me follow up here too. Alright, so they're going to be going into game number 3. Definitely an interesting matchup here because, like, you know, Miraidon just pops off if you literally have the whole Magneton line. You know, getting the magnetons on the board, you know, to feed it energy. And you know, once you have like 6 energies or 5 energies, you're almost clearing literally everything on your opponent's side of the field. But with the Meowscarada is pretty nice just to have around too. So that's another thing. But like, I feel like this build of Meowscarada, we do have the Ogre Pawn because, you know, sleep and burn are two real things for sure in the metagame, and you really don't want to be running into that like consistently. So, you know, that's one thing you don't want to get caught up on. So our opponent is trying to match up. So as soon as we have that, we could definitely get into the next round for sure. Let me just make sure everybody's here. Yeah, it looks like they're both having trouble connecting, but overall, holy lag. It was not looking like that like a few seconds ago. It looked a little bit more promising. Wow, did this just freeze on me? Let me see what's going on their chat. Like, maybe I'll type. Yo, no way this guy just literally disappeared. Alright, there we go. Again, there will be a delay for sure, just to make sure there's no cheating or stream sniping. But here we go, getting the most optimal setup here with Zeraora on the lead and double Magnemites. That's just insane. But, you know, having access to forest to search of your other Sprigatito is pretty good here. And you do have access, you know, to Meowscarada at any point, but the problem is here we're missing the rare candy or the middle evolutionary line. They do play one of, and they do have access to copycat, but the problem here is the opponent is literally gonna stay low on cards. The only way this deck stays with multiple cards in their hand is A, when they brick, because like it's kind of easy to brick in this deck, I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time having cards like Clement and then having cards like Lycia. But here it does look like we're gonna get full value from the copycat because we're just gonna search out the remaining basic Pokemon, play it. I think that's what they're gonna do if they want to advance the game state here. Because the simple fact that you could put 1 energy on the Sprigatito, you could definitely start searching here. And that copycat definitely paid off here because now the Meowscarada EX is coming onto the board. Now, where are you going to put that flower trick? Where are you going to put that pressure on the board? That's going to be the most important part. I mean, hitting one of the Magnemites would be kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. But it looks like we're going to go on the active zone for sure. I mean, could be a good play here because at the same time, you know, if their opponent decides to rush, because they could technically Clement here into, you know, the double Magneton, charge up another 2 energy, and then play a Miraidon. So if you want to get the revenge knockout from that too, that's another way to secure that if you hit it on the main active zone too. But, you know, if you put it like on one of the Magnemites, they probably would have retreated with the Zero Aura for sure, and the Zero Aura would have ate that. So right now, having it in the lead position is the correct play. And there's the double Magneton, literally what they needed. So, you know, it's high risk, high reward here. Let's see if it's going to pay off for them too. So they're definitely checking each other's deck right now just to make sure, you know, what type of viable strategies they have out here. So 9 seconds on the clock. What are they going to do? I think they're just going to have to eat the hit and swing. Now, my question here is, do they have the Magnezone? And they are playing Magnezone EX as well too. Building up the Ogerpon could be nice here too, but the problem is Ogerpon just gets one-shotted by Miraidon late game, so definitely have to know how to play this one out. Kind of hesitant to play the Copycat because, like, you don't really want to lose the Meowscarada option, so, but at the same time you could pay off and get other cards like an additional Leaf Cape. You could get a Cyrus, you know, Erica for healing. So, you know, there are multiple options here for, you know, for this player. Definitely getting down into the trenches. Just an announcement for the players that are watching. If you do make top 4, make sure to, you know, stop at top 4 until instructed to play, and then we will go from there. So are we going to see a Magneton, a Magnezone, or the Miraidon? Miraidon comes out, going to drop a nuke here, for sure. I'm pretty sure this is 120, if I'm not mistaken. And Giant Cape is definitely going to be pivotal here. So let's see how this plays out. I wonder if they're trying to check if they have access to, you know, anything that's going to be like Erica's, or I mean, Erica's the only real threat for him. Now, the problem here is you really don't have an energy or energy acceleration to kind of pop off with, so because both Pokemon that you're gonna want to get on the board, you know, need 2 energy. And one thing about grass Pokemon, grass is greedy when it comes to energy. There's not much that they could do. Going in for the Copycat, putting away the Meowscarada here. Do they get it? Nah, they do not get the EX, and unfortunately, that's going to be the game. Miraidon pops off here. GG's. That's kind of insane. So let's see what we could find here. Okay, so people are now advancing into the next round. So this match is concluded, by the way. So let me see if I could find maybe a top 32. If we could find something in top 32, that would be amazing. Now just give me 1 second here, chat. Oh, actually, we do have a good matchup here. We got HQ, and Q. Let me just make sure they're deafened. Okay, bang. So we got like high quality here. This is, let me just verify. Top 64, right? Boom. Now let me download the deck list. This game is just beginning, and they do have interesting builds for sure. Wow, this is an interesting Lucario list for sure. Alright, so what we have is a Hydreigon versus Lucario. Now, this Lucario deck is running Furfrou and Hitmonlee. So instead of having the Psyguard, you definitely want to have that -20 ability, which, you know, could tank a lot of things here. And it's weak to fighting, but it doesn't really matter at this point because there's not much going on for it. But as we could see on the board, on the field here, let me just make sure I have everything correct. This is game number 1. We have double Mega Lucarios. He's flashing the Lucky Ice Pop, which Lucky Ice Pop is definitely the scam pop here. The thing is too, as soon as you knock out the Bombardier, like, he has enough to knock out Hydreigon if he gets Hydreigon on curve. The thing is with the Tommy, he's not gonna have the cards that he needs here in order to, you know, pop off, unless he drops another what do you call it, Dano, and then probably has another on curve. I'm lying. The other Dano is in the graveyard, so even if he does get the Hydreigon, this game's kind of cooked, and it's probably gonna go to HQR. We're gonna waste the Karina here because essentially Karina is not really gonna do anything for you, especially in a deck like this, if you haven't already seen the Mega Absol. So let's just say even if Mega Absol were to come out, the problem is it's not going to be able to live a hit because you already have 190 staring you down on the board. 190 from Lucario is going to, you know, well, you don't have 190 yet. You needed the Karina for the 190, but still, you're not going to be able to swing with the, what do you call it? with the Absol in time. And I guess we hailed Mary for a Hydreigon. Did we get it? No Hydreigon. Going to head into game number 2. No, this is definitely going to be an interesting match for sure. All right, let's go. Heading into game number 2, getting the Furfrou start. Pretty much, essentially, this is the start, the most optimal start you want for this deck. The odds here, too, let me see what his... I mean, Hitmonlee is kind of nice, too. So, right now, you're on a 50-50 with the starts that you want. So, hesitating on the Pokeball here, but... you know, you're going to get your Riolu for sure. And before dropping the... I'm sorry. We Pokeballed before dropping the Copycat for sure, because you want to get the max value for that. They don't have anything to disrupt the stadium cards, so playing your stadium is only going to help you in the long run, and having the energy on... what do you call it? Riolu is going to be amazing too. So you do have access to X speed as well. So if you needed to go on curve, evolve to Mega Lucario, you do have that option as well. You know, you could definitely Sabrina and do more disruption plays here too. But I wouldn't see why you wouldn't want to take out the Danos here, you know? Oh, wait a minute. Do we have it? Do we have the rare candy on curve? Is that what we were looking for? This would be insane if he has it. Okay, nah. Bombardier just is going to put an extra 30 damage on the Lucario, which that was kind of clutch, I'm not going to lie. That definitely was one of the best disruption plays for sure. Right now, he has a decision. Is he going to sit there and swing with the Mega Lucario, or is he going to try to pivot into something else? No, he does have access to Pokemon Center Lady, so that 30 damage could literally be nothing. But even if he has the Hydreigon at this point, it really doesn't matter because he doesn't have access to a backup attacker. The main energy has to go on the Dano for sure if they want to pop off as well too, so... not looking that good for Hydreigon. Hydreigon versus Mega Lucario is definitely not looking like a nice matchup here, for sure. Do they have it? Nah, they had to retreat. But the extra 20 damage at least is something. But, hold up. The Sabrina is here. The Sabrina is here, and it's gonna wrap it up because now Tommy has no access to any strong attackers besides Mega Absol, and it's gonna be a little bit too late to set that up, and that is going to be the game for sure. We could find our runner-up. Let me see if I can find Mega Hassan. Or I could find... see if we can find another match for you guys. Maybe Storm? Okay, we do have a match. Let me see where Storm is at. Oh, wait. We do have a couple matches starting up. You know what? We could follow... Yeah, let's follow HQR for sure. Since we already have him. That was an interesting Lucario deck. This is going to be top 32. Let me pull up the opponent's deck. Oh, it's going to be a Manatrix, so this is definitely going to be a good match to spectate. Again, if you guys don't know who this guy is a top 100 player for sure. So one of the best Japanese players out there. So it's definitely a good matchup to spectate for sure. Here we go. Game number 1 of top 32. Alright. Here we are starting off with the Furfrou for sure. Alright, so the opponent is playing a Jolteon variant of, what do you call it? Of Electrike, Mega Manatrix, and it definitely looks like an interesting build, but it did get him to top 32, and here he is popping off, so he's trying to wonder if he should research or copycat. I feel like copycat might be the answer here, because you definitely need to find your Lucarios and everything. But, I mean, Riolu's. But he does get the Pokeball. Is he going to find? No, he doesn't want to drop anything? Nah. I mean, I feel like the Pokeball would have been nice here because you do give your opponent a nice option to copycat. So now he could just drop Jolteon and potentially just copycat you. Which, what did I say? But the opponent plays Sabrina as well, so definitely could disrupt him. So that is another reason why you may have not want to play the Lucario. So if anything, this just helped out the Jolteon player for sure. So getting access to the field. Let me just make sure the music is high enough to hear. Cool. Field Blower is going to get rid of the Rocky Helmet. The reason you want to get rid of the Rocky Helmet here is because you don't want your Furfrou to get knocked out. Now, the Stadium, you could definitely, you know, use that to your advantage. Hey, maybe he could just go into Hitmonlee, retreat, and then start swinging on the Eevee in the back. That could be something viable, but it doesn't look like we're going to go that route. It looks like we're just going to go in and potentially swing in with Furfrou. But now they have the option to give Pokemon Center Lady because, mind you, this Jolteon could only do 20 damage due to the ability of Furfrou. So they're just trying to figure out if, you know, that would be the correct play. Personally, if you don't want to, you know, take an early knockout, I feel like that's the correct play here. And, you know, just going in for a free 30 is going to be very beneficial for the long run because you're going to be able to pick that knockout, you know, in the next turn. And here, you could definitely take advantage of the copycat in your hand and just get maximum value. But yo, the Electrike here is here. It's no more a what do you call it? It's not a Jolteon deck anymore. It's just straight up Electrike here. Oh, it does look like we're gonna go in and swap into the other Jolteon to pick up the knockout with Training Arena. It doesn't matter, because here we're doing 70 damage. Oh, 50. Well, 70 minus the 20. That is insane. Okay, here we are. We did come in with Mega Lucario to be a little bit more on the aggressive side, because the last thing you really want is that Manectric hitting for heavy numbers. So one thing you gotta remember, that only has 180 HP. So you're gonna be hitting for 140, plus an additional 30, plus the training arena. So that's enough to knock out the Manectric. You don't even have to play the Copycat in this situation. You just have to pop off here. It's insane. And not to mention, I forgot to mention the weakness. You're weak to fighting as well. Like, Lucario is gonna be the ultimate, you know, is gonna be the ultimate repel to all these electric decks for sure. I'm telling you, don't sleep on Mega Lucario, because Mega Lucario can just come here and ruin your day. And you got the stadium as well to do an extra 10. So game number 1 going to go into Mega Lucario's favor. HQ taking game number 1. Chat, let me know who you want to see win. Do you want to see Manectric come back and knock out this Lucario, or do you want to see Lucario move on? It's definitely an interesting build for sure. Okay. Starting off with the Riolu and Stampede Eevee, what I really like about this Mega Manectric build is it could definitely catch your opponents off guard and get the quick knockouts here. So, you know, dropping the, dropping the cape is going to be essential here. The reason I do like this Jolteon build, because you pick up fast knockouts, and that's going to make your Mega Manectric hit like a truck in the late game. And there's the Jolteon getting ready to swing for an additional 80, right? No, 6, it gains 20, right? So oh, we're gonna Sabrina so we could actually secure that point. Hold up. Jolteon is actually probably gonna pop off in this game. Jolteon's gonna make Manectric look like an all-star here. Not to mention, HQ definitely has, you know, access to the healing. But no, there's literally no other option here. You need to draw a Lucario if you want to advance this game state anywhere. But it doesn't look like Chronos has any you know, Electrikes or a second Eevee to, you know, have a follow-up play here. So literally, I think all they could do here is swing. Because, like, especially that this thing is, you know, it's not a EX Pokemon. You're not going to get any value from that field. So it's going to be looking rough. You don't want to play the stadium, because if you play the stadium, your opponent could just play the training arena, and then, you know, it's not going to look really nice for you in the long run. But if they do get access to the training arena, you know, it's going to be doing an additional 10 extra damage here. Do they have access to the Electrike? That's going to be the make it or break it, if you ask me. Or if it's Stampede Eevee, retreat into another Jolteon could potentially put a lot of pressure on him too. But it looks like we're seeing the Electrike version, and dropping the Rocky helmet is like dropping the salt in the wound. It's kind of insane. Hovering with the field blower, because you definitely need to get rid of the Rocky helmet for sure, because you'll be in a bad spot no matter what. Now it really just comes down to, does the opponent have Mega Manatric? Is Mega Manatric here to clean up house? And here it is! Mega Manatric in the back, and the flex one, you know, the shiny one. Gotta flex on your opponents. Holy. Alright, we have a game 3 situation here. I wouldn't have thought this build... Yo, this build is actually very interesting, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, let's see. We're heading into game number 3. Hopefully, we get something super interesting here. We do have access to a Mega Lucario in the back. In the hand. Gonna go in for a quick copycat here. They do have access to the training arena, so at least they could get rid of that. Honestly, the only thing I would say that could save HQ right now, if he has access to... oh, he does have access to like the Furfrou maybe? Oh, he does have access to the second Riolu. You could put the energy on the Riolu in the back and then just chill. Or get rid of the Rocky helmet. It doesn't look like Kronos will probably have access to the other, what do you call it, Jolteon. But we'll find out right now. Copycat! Wasting the Pokeball. Getting the Copycat. Double Copycat is insane. Did they get access? Oh no, we're just gonna go into the Mega Manatric in the following turn. Already committed the energy to the back, so... Honestly... They do have plays here. Where, you know... I think they could just swing here. Because, like, you can't attack with Mega Lucario. You have to find a way to bait them out and bring that Manatric. Just mind you, that thing could do 150 damage. 100 if it has, like, 2 knockouts. So... And this Lucario, I mean, this Riolu could potentially be a knockout, so... I think maybe attaching into the Riolu and going in for the swing for sure might be the play. And this Eevee might just be sacrificed because you don't want to waste energy on this thing. But yo, Kronos is definitely getting all of their, what do you call it, draw engine here. And we're seeing double Mega Manatric here. That's kind of insane. So now, as long as he doesn't get like anything crazy, he does have multiple cards for healing. He could draw Giant Cape. Giant Cape could definitely help him out in this situation as well. So let's see if he even gets that. Oh, the Furfrow's out. But one thing you have to realize, your opponent does have access to, what do you call it? Has access to Sabrina. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where a Jolteon just gets plopped into the field and can knock everything out in one hit. Definitely going to take away the training arena here and going to go for a quick swing. The reason being is you really don't want your opponent hitting you for 10 extra damage, because as you can see, that probably will matter in the late game. So it's over. Ain't no way. It's over. If he just sits there and swings, well, he could technically retreat for free too, so that's the one thing I forgot about Mega Manatrix, having the free retreat cost. But you definitely put the one with the energy just in case if you don't have access to the Jolteon. Jolteon is there to do 60 damage, but you only do 110 damage with Mega Manatrix, so I really don't think that's going to be enough. But the Rocky Helmet, hold up. Nah, the math is not there, bro. The math ain't mathing. Because I don't think there's a way he's dealing that much damage. Because he does 80 plus 30. And he does have access to the Karina. There is no hand disruption. It looks like Lucario might just end up taking this game. Holy. Wait. That's huge. But I don't think it matters because of the Karina. It doesn't matter because you have the Karina plus the extra 20 damage. And you got Scam Pop. You got Scam Pop as well. Yeah, 170 plus 20. It's a wrap. GG's. That was definitely a crazy game to spectate there. One for the books for sure. Let me see if I could grab somebody else. Let me refresh this for you guys. Maybe I could find Mega Hana. Let me see if I could find these guys. That's Harina. I'm definitely just giving you games right now until we can find something. Searching. Oh, we might have Solomon playing too. Oh, this is a weird setup.
Hey.
Welcome in, welcome in. We are live. Is the match over?
No, that was game one.
I bet. Alright, let me see if I could pull Solomon's matchup for game number one. We definitely have to edit this, unfortunately. Bong. Yeah, at least it'll look nice. At least it will look nice, right? This is another top 32 game, by the way, too. So let me pull up Solomon's deck right here. We are playing Sleep Scam. I do like the setup, though. The setup, he does have access to like the deck list on the right, and then has the actual gameplay on the other side of the screen too. It's pretty clutch to have it that way. So if we go top 4, then the opponent TCG is playing what do you call it? Iron Juggler, which is kind of an interesting build. I have been seeing this build, you know, pop up every now and then. Let me see if I can pull up the deck. No, that's not the... Boom. Alright, cool. This is game number 2, by the way. They did end up waking up, as you guys could see. It looks like the Dano is coming out on the field. Low-key, I feel like they could have went for like a quick knockout here too. I'm not gonna lie. So we have access to the Sylveon Sleep, but the thing is, all you're gonna be able to accomplish here is 40 damage because you don't have access to anything. But actually, the training arena is gonna allow you to get that extra 10, which might matter depending if they have the Hydreigon or not. But you know, if you confidently put the Dano in the front like that, you know, it might be because you have access to it. Oh, my bad. The iron, whatever couldn't attack with the dark energy. Oh my god. The screen just got so blurry. The quality just died. I'm sorry, chat. Okay, so Hydreigon is definitely out. Are we going to see access to, what do you call it? An Altaria? Because that's definitely something Solomon needs in order to pop off. The Darkrai's here. Darkrai could definitely put in some good stuff. But getting rid of the Eevee here to try to get an Altaria... No, just double Darkrai. I mean, you could definitely sacrifice if the opponent does play Sabrina. So if that Hydreigon wakes up, you're kind of risking it. It does wake up. Holy, do we have the Scam Pop to follow up? Iron Jugulus could come out and do 70 damage and knock out most of his board. Going into the Pokeball. Holy. What are we watching? Are we going to see a comeback or is Solomon going to take this? They do play only one of the... What do you call it? One of the Iron... I'm going to call it Gallade. I forgot the name. Valiant. There we go. Valiant. So, I think here we're just gonna go for a quick swing into the Iggly buff. It's still only optimal play here for sure. But they are thinking of just putting the energy on the Jugulus too. Mind you, the opponent really doesn't have a way to swing in the following turn, so... The Area Zero is kind of helping Solomon a lot more than the actual, what do you call it? The Hydreigon player, because I haven't really seen him use it as much. This is getting him, you know, extra ways to get Altaria, but it's definitely not there for sure. Picking up this knockout with the Iggly buff would be pretty nice for sure. So bringing out the Valiant, because Valiant's gonna essentially make, you know, most of his plays a little bit useless. I mean, it gives him time to search for, what do you call it, Ice Pop if he hasn't used it. So that's another realistic play that we could see. He doesn't wake up, so that means Valiant is going to be knocked out on at the end of his turn, and he's going to be forced to play a Pokemon on the field, which is going to cost him 2 points here. But right now, if he ends up pulling a another Hydreigon play, high roll, that could also end the game immediately. So right now, they're definitely playing a dangerous game for sure. Oh my god, we got lag. Let me just make an announcement just to make sure top 4. Okay. Yo, it does look like Solomon is gonna come back from this. Whoa, the Toro! Do we have the out? He's already with the concede button. Ice Pop? Or are we using it as a shield? No, they got the Sabrina. They have the Sabrina. Altaria's finally here for sure. But I think if you really want to be safe, you retreat and swing with the Altaria. No way. That was actually clutch. I mean, the only way they could even go into the next game here is they need access to multiple ice pops. I gotta fix my screen for the following. Sabrina Rocky Helmet. Oh, imagine they end up trying to win this by... Yeah, nah, it's cooked. GG's. I'm sorry. The screen is super blurry. It does look like Solomon will be moving into the next round. Good games for sure. Let's see if we can pull something else up. And let me fix this. Let me fix this stream. It definitely gives me time to do that. Bob. Okay. Here we go. Shit. I'm just noticing the raids right now. Thank you guys so much for the raids. Y'all are the goats. Who is Fabela? I'm sorry, I probably butchered your name, but thank you so much. I appreciate you. Now let me see if I could pull up another game while we're waiting. Right now I just have a random game for you guys to spectate for sure. Alright, so if we go into the pairings, we might have like a top 16. There are a lot of top 32s playing right now. Oh, actually, we could probably find a nice top 32 here. If I could find one of these guys. Olive? Okay. Let's see if I could find... We do have one match here that we could stream. So it's that Maridon build that we saw earlier in the day. So let me pull that up one more time for y'all. Bro, it's not pulled up. Hold up. Hold on. This is not pulling up. Okay, so we got the Maridon build open. Now let me grab the opponents, which is playing Dark Greninja. Boom. Yeah, that match happened a little bit too quick. My fault. Let's go back to this matchup here. This actually looks kind of interesting. Honestly, I kind of wish I spectated this from the beginning. This one's top 16, by the way. Let me see if I could pull that up for you. Sorry, 1 second. So right now, this game is 1-1 right now. I do want to pull Semantics deck list. This deck is actually pretty insane. And they can't play trainer cards. No, sir. They're locked. Unfortunately, Lucario gets knocked from that. It's a Espeon, Leafeon, Flutter main build. Holy. Definitely a very niche build. Okay, so we have Mega Hana here. Let me see if I can pull Mega Hana's build. Actually, I'll pull it up here. Give me 1 sec. Mega Hana, could I find you? Where are you at? Top 16? Okay, we found him. Alright, so let me... So game number 1 went to the Charizard deck. So let's pull up the stream, the deck list. This deck did go 9-2, by the way. Charizard is making one of the greatest comebacks of all time. I don't know why it's opening up like this. My fault. Don't mind me right now. I have a million windows that I'm trying to pull up the deck list. Yeah, pulling up deck lists, not the most optimal thing in the world. So we have a Miraidon deck here. So I think I could just plop it up here. Boom. Now I could get rid of that Charizard one. Okay, now everything is aligned. My bad. This is still top 32 for this matchup for sure. All right. There's one thing I need to check out here before I commentate. Alright, sorry about that, we're here. Charizard Y is hitting the field and literally is gonna destroy everything in its path. Now, the problem here, if he swings with Mega Charizard on this Magnezone, the Miraidon could come in here and get the revenge kill. There really isn't anything he could do. Does he have... He doesn't have Lily, but he does have access to Pokemon Center Lady, but, you know, Cyrus is here to actually win the game, if anything. Not only that, I don't think you need Cyrus. I think this might be enough to pick up the knockout with Miraidon. What do we have, 140 on the board? Yeah, Miraidon is just gonna pick up the knockout. And not only that, you do have access to the Cyrus if it wasn't enough, if you only had the 120. So, it does look like Hana is gonna move on for sure. So it does look like that was all of the games for that. So let's go and take a quick peek at the next round, the next set of players. So we go into the dashboard. Definitely want to post something up. There is a few top 8s already making it, so we could continue spectating Hana. Yeah, let's do that. Spectate that, and then we could get. It's gonna be a Maridon mirror match. So we could take that and replace it. So as soon as they match up, we're definitely gonna get that match started for sure. Okay, yeah. So they're gonna start searching each other right now. Which version of, you know, Maridon do you think is the best? Is it going to be the Oricorio, or is it gonna be the Zeraora? That's literally the problem with the Zeraora one that I feel is you need to start that Zeraora or you're gonna be in a tough spot. So here we are. They're going to be searching each other, and once we have that, it's gonna be insane. We could also watch Mr. D's perspective too. Is he actually trying to match up? Okay. Nice. It is a little bit more clear. So I think this was a good choice. And I believe this is a top 16. So let me just switch that over for sure. They were thinking of starting off with the Maridon, but at the same time, they're like, nah, let me take that back. And the Magnemite is going to be the lead here. See, that's the problem I have with the Zeraora version is, well, I mean, you need to find that Zera. Do they have it? No. So now the Zeraora is not going to have that much value, where as if it was an Oricorio, at least you could block the attack of you know, EX Pokemon. But here we're going to search, going to get access to the Magnemite, and going to draw 2. We're going to get the Magneton. No Magneton, but you definitely do like the odds here that what you're seeing, having the double Magnemite on the field as well, plus an Oricorio, giving you another leg up on your opponent. Now, if your opponent doesn't have access to the Magnetons, you're definitely going to be in a tough situation here. Oh, no, the Clement's hitting hard for sure. It's kind of crazy. So, at least here, Hana has the whole like magneton thing going on. Now, the thing is, are we gonna get access to your own? In this situation, I think Professor's research is the more valuable because your deck's already at its lowest, and you really don't want to be shuffling cards back in there. Now, if Hana has access to any of his, regular, you know, magnetons, I mean, magnet zones, Hana could be in trouble real fast. Because he's about to lose. I mean, I'm not Hana. Cider. Cider is about to lose 2 energy here. For the Miraidon, meaning the Miraidon is not going to be able to start swinging for the numbers that they want. And they're going to have to play the Magnemite. But it does look like we're going to go aggro with the Zeraora here, for sure. Which is also not an awful play. I mean, you hard drew it, but at least you have access to one of them, right? At least in this situation, you do have access to the Miraidon, and this Miraidon could definitely start doing damage because you do have access to the second one as well, so... 100 damage is huge, picking up the first knockout on the Zeraora for sure. That's actually amazing. Now Hana is in a situation where they might have to drop their own Miraidon, because if they don't drop their Miraidon and start doing some serious damage, they're just gonna be stuck. Here it is. And I think this is gonna be 120. Don't quote me wrong, but nah, this is just 100. 120, yeah, no, I said 120. Damn, that's a little too late to pick up that Clement. Cider's definitely not pulling, everything he needs. He's getting, like, quite the opposite of everything. But, like, in a situation like this, now you open yourself up to having a lose condition being the Cyrus. Now, are they both playing double Miraidon? Yes, that go. So I think you got the Pokeball play coming up. No Pokeball. Oh, wait a minute. This is huge. He could just Sabrina and get rid of the other Magneton that has 2 energy. Because you would much rather get rid of... You don't want a 150 Magnet Zone coming out on the board. Sabrina late game is huge here. So, like, you're pretty much in a safe situation here if you're Cider. Because even if you get the knockout on the Miraidon, you do have Ori to protect you from the other Miraidon. And not only that, you have access to Cyrus. Cyrus is just going to win you the game. You have the second Miraidon in hand too. That could accelerate you to win this game. So, overall, it's looking a little tough for the Zeraora version. Which version are you guys more of a fan of? Do you guys like the Oricorio version, or do you guys like the other? giant cape coming in. At this point, it really doesn't matter if he has the cape or not, because he's gonna have access to like a infinite amount of what do you call it, energy to pop off in the follow-up here, which the follow-up is gonna be super strong. Which he already has the energy. He should have just plopped the thing down. How much energy is this? I have to know. 8. Holy. 180. Could have been 200 if he dropped the other energy. That's game number 1 going to Hana. I mean, going to Cider. Oops. Now we wait until they match up, and as soon as they match up, I got you. Well, it doesn't matter. Now they're searching, so we could show it. So starting off with the Miraidon, kind of forced to play that, so. Alright, here we go. Oh wait, my fault. Here it looks like you were kind of forced to use the Miraidon in the front, but you really don't have any follow-up play here. While, you know, Hana is actually blowing up with the Zero Aura, you always want to see that Zero Aura on the start for sure. Did he draw into the other Magneton? Because that would be huge in this situation. But no, it does look like we're going to go in for the super aggro play here, because you do want to move the Magneton, the Magnemite away, because you want that thing to be like a battery in the back, and now you're going to be hitting for early numbers here. Just 10 shy away from the knockout. Are we going to, just retreat with the Miraidon? Or, problem with summoning the other Miraidon here, you're really not going to get the most value. But it does look like you're going to be forced to be in this position, because, they're kind of locked into this Miraidon, so in the long run, you'll pick up the knockout first, but at the same time, if there's a Cyrus in their hand, or, they just keep building this momentum, it's kind of looking cooked. But 160 HP is kind of nice, I'm not going to lie. Turo was here to save the day. Now, this right here is just going to buy Hana all the time that he needs in order to pop off in the following turns here. Not opting in to sacrifice it, but it could go for a Professor's Research to try to... Oh, okay. They're going to go in for the copycat here, because you definitely need to find the second Magneton for sure. Cyrus is actually not that bad to find either, but they do need like a access to, Turo for the one in the back, because if they could find that, that would be pretty huge. Looks like we're gonna go a little bit more aggro in the front and swing for 120. Damn, double Miraidon. Like, this is the second time he's had the Miraidon, so he's gonna be able to pop off here. It's definitely gonna put his opponent in a situation where, he might have to just give up all those energies. Okay. Oh, my stream didn't mess up. I just got a notification that my OBS disconnected. That's never nice. Wonder if that Sabrina was definitely the right play, because now he does get, like, I think he picks up the knockout. No, he's kind of short from the knockout, but, like, it's still super close, I'm not gonna lie. He could retreat here with the Miraidon and then force him to flip, because he's not gonna be hitting for 150. Oricorio is definitely a real card, so they're gonna have to, play around that as well too. And Cyrus is gonna come in and finish the game. We're gonna head into a game number 3. Bro should have just swung with the Miraidon. Would you guys consider that BM? Would you guys consider that play BM? Nah, I'm just messing with y'all. Kind of crazy. Alright, while that next game gets I think it's a 1-1 heading into game number 3. What are they waiting on? Wait, was that it? Am I tripping? Oh wait, Hannah did win. No, it's going into game number 3. You know, something about one Turo and starting a Miraidon doesn't feel right. But this is actually an insane start for Hana because you definitely get to pop off with the Zero Aura. You have the first attack on this thing too. You have ways to accelerate your energy as fast as possible too, so that's kind of crazy. But, you know, Lycia popping off when it did is kind of huge here for Cider for sure. Let's see what they could do to get out of it. Oh, having a early knockout on a Magnemite is huge here. Especially in the mirror match, because right here, you're automatically outpacing your opponent right now. And you're threatening with a good amount of damage on that Miraidon pretty soon. Hana is getting the insane start right here. Magneton is gonna charge up for sure, but like, I really don't know. The Sabrina's not gonna really put him in a, you know, comfortable spot here. The fact that he had the second one is insane. But he has a Miraidon himself where he could actually swing, but is it really going to be worth it? You're not going to get the 90. You're hitting for 80 at this situation. I mean, at least you're not taking 50 damage for nothing, you know? So the more aggro that you could go here, I feel it's the more safer play. it does put you in a situation where you're really not going to be able to bring out Oricorio. Because if you bring out Oricorio, you risk yourself getting knocked out by the Magnezone, and that's not going to be a good day for you. Oh, Miraidon's coming. I feel it. You're dropping the energy on Zeraora just like that. That has to be a tell. Wait, what? We put the energy on the Zeraora? Is this bait to make him try to swing with the Miraidon? Because if he does do that, he does have the 90 for the mirror shot. This definitely could be a very much of a bait call. Honestly, he could have Sabrina'd here too. Doing the Sabrina and taking away the Magneton would have been great. Maybe that's why he put the energy on the Zera. Either way, it's not looking like a good situation to be in. Does he have the Magnezone? Yes or no? That's going to be the make it or break it, and we're about to find out. We're about to find out. Or the Miraidon, honestly. And that's going to be enough for the knockout, and it does look like Hana is going to be moving on to top 8. Good games indeed. Oh, let me see what's playing. So if I refresh this, let's take a quick peek. Oh, we already have somebody sitting in top 4. That was quick. There's gonna be another Miraidon mirror match. Sitting in top 4 is gonna be a Sleep Scam deck. And we have guaranteed Miraidon versus Sleep Espeon. On the bottom side, what do we have? Let me see if I can find these guys. Oh, wait a minute. Alright, so we have a Maridon coming up. Again, there is definitely a lot of Maridons. In this tournament, it does look like Maridon is, you know, healing. Let me get rid of all these windows so we can pull up the correct one. We do have game number 1. Is that the wrong? Am I spectating the wrong person? Hold up. Oops. Pairings. I might just go back to Hana, no cap. No, never mind. We do have this matchup. This is the correct matchup. I'm sorry. This is top 8. I'm not gonna lie, I saw the Gumi and I'm like, wait a minute, is this a real duck? But it is. It works. Oh god, I don't know why it came out like that. Okay, here we go. It's on the screen. You guys could see it. Took a little bit. So we do have a Hydreigon, the new variant, versus Maridon, and what ended up starting, we do have the Lucky Ice Pop going into the Hydreigon after getting what it needed. It can't attack right now, which is kind of unfortunate because of the Gumi, but you know, you do have access to the Sabrina, so you could actually do some heavy damage on the Garchomp. I mean, on the, what do you call it, Mega Altaria in the back. But there's a Dano and a Bombardier on the field, So, you know, that doesn't even matter at this point anymore. Are we going to see a copycat? No, the copycat was already played and they already popped off with what with what they already need. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. But yeah. All right. Thinking if they're gonna go into research. I feel like the research might be the correct play here, but at the same time, um, yeah, no, they could go into Magnet Zone here, opting in not to. I mean, just to go for the quick damage. The reason this Magnet Zone is also coming is because you want to get that mirror shot ability, you know, into play. Make that Hydreigon, you know, 50-50 on that 130. But it is a very risky play because at the same time you are risking your Magnet Zone on a flip. So this is game number one. This is kind of crazy. Would you guys risk it? Or would you guys have the Gumi get destroyed? Because also you do have access to Miraidon, but it wouldn't have been enough. Would it have been enough? Might have. But then again, you know, you do have the Revenge Killer, which is what do you call it? Mega Absol, you know, coming in as well too. So they're, you know, giving your point an ability is not, you know, the best way to go. Definitely a lot of thinking here because you really don't want to lose that 120 killer over here. But gonna go in for the swing. What are we gonna rip? Are we gonna rip the Sabrina or the copycat here? I think, you know, it's kind of tough here. But the Sabrina looks like it's gonna be the choice. No, sir. Because the Cyrus is here and it just literally opened up a win condition for him. This literally gave him a win condition out of nowhere. Now if that Mega Absol had access to the, what do you call it, Rocky Helmet, that would have been insane. That would have been an insane play as well. Honestly, you could just go for max value here and then just stack the other energy and then get rid of the Mega Absol. Because you're going to be attacking for 100 damage. Unless Scam Pop comes, he does play 2 Ice Pops. Is he gonna get all the way past 120? Nope. Do we have a second one? No, we have access to get to the second one. Having access to get to the second one is crazy. I think what they're gonna do is just swing in with the Hydreigon for sure for that 130. See, the problem with leading in with the Absol, you know, you do play that one, like, you play that one what do you call it, chance that you're gonna get rid of the Cyrus, but you know, it did not play out as you wanted, and that's gonna be it for game number 1. Going to Garchomp 1 2 3. Sounds like somebody's password. Alright, let me hide this so you don't dox anything. Okay, starting off with the Oricorio. Sorry, I was just chatting. Oh my god, I almost did not play this. So that copycat, right, is gonna give him a nice value because you got access to the Clement, you got access to your second Magnemite, which is gonna allow you to advance your game state, and you're just gonna be able to pop off in the following turn. Let me go here. I just want to make sure everything's all set. This is kind of insane. Alright, I'm sorry. So there's just a Bombardier here. If he doesn't have any other basics, this game could just be over. It still could be over. The fact that he had to do that. No, don't tell me the game is gonna end this way. No, sir. The brick. The ultimate brick. That was tough. That was tough. Yo. He's saying sorry about that too. Good sportsmanship. That was a rough way to lose. Damn. You know, I guess you see it all. I guess you see it all. Lived long enough to see it all. Alright. Now that means we have to find a brand new match. So, standings, pairings. We do have a top 8 going on. What I could do is top 4, top 8. Actually, let's head into our top 4. I think that would be great. Yeah, we could start our next top. Give me 1 minute. Oh, this is gonna be a good one because it's gonna be Sweetbacks. Sweetbacks versus the Miraidon. Two of the most popular decks in the metagame right now. They're just gonna clash it out. And let me know what you guys are definitely waiting on or want to see. Okay, let me let them know. So both of these players did very well. Diego was 10-3, and then we got Garchomp that was 13-1 with the Miraidon. So we're definitely gonna see what's up and what's going on with this for sure. So game number 1 is gonna be here of top 4. So top 4, we're starting off with the Gumi. Pretty sure that's what they're gonna try to lead on with, but you know, they're gonna double check and see the other deck just to make sure everything's good. Again, you know, if you're playing Sweetbacks, you're gonna want to take advantage of the field and, you know, put everything out there because you don't want to give your opponent access to copycats as well. So, oh, it does look like Ori's probably gonna be the choice here. It is kind of tough. I am not gonna lie, it is kind of tough here, but you know, the Oricorio is gonna do a great job on walling out the Suicune and the Chen Pao here. So the only thing that's scary about the Chen Pao has the ability to knock out any of the Magnemites. So, you know, that's gonna be like the true test of this game. It's gonna be like the speed. Giant Cape is here. He was like flexing on it, but like, you know, just having access to the Miraidon at this point of the game is pretty good because you could pick up a quick knockout on the Suicune for sure. Wait a minute, Copycat is gonna give him one of the best value plays right here. Does he have access to the rare candy? Because if he has access to rare candy, you know, he could probably put the energy, start building up for the Baxcalibur to get rid of that Oricorio so he could have his own game plan. But not yet. Not there yet. To be fair, this deck could probably just wall everything out with Oricorio until it's ready. Like, oh no. 10% battery in top 4. You gotta find that charger because you definitely do not want to lose to the timer. I mean, to the low battery. Okay, so having access to the Baxcalibur here is huge because now it just puts Garchomp in a very tough position. Puts him in a position where he's gonna have to find his Magnetons as fast as possible so he could start progressing his game state. But in this situation, you don't even have to give the energy to Suicune. You could just keep stacking the Baxcalibur for sure to, put it out on the field to swing with it later on. Which is what we're probably going to end up seeing in the following turn. Okay, Magneton getting the energy. It does look like I just don't see the play with the Miraidon. Miraidon is not going to be able to knock out this Suicune, but at the same time, if you put like Gumi, it's just not relevant right now. It's just going to give your opponent a free turn. So the only realistic play is putting damage on this Suicune, getting 70 damage off this thing so you could potentially maybe Cyrus for game or something. That's maybe the best play you have right now on the field. But definitely going to have to get rid of this bird. Dealing 90 damage into Oricorio is pretty strong here. So that's what we're definitely going to see for sure. Not to mention, the Giant's Cape is going to be putting in a lot of work here. See, now, one problem I do see is the Magneton, right? If you go into Magnet Zone, like, all he has to do is retreat, and then, you can start swinging with everything else. Like, he literally retreats the Baxcalibur, and then he could just, charge up Chen Pao, and then use the Ice Maker on the Suicune to swing for enough damage here. Okay, so Baxcalibur is here. It has the mirror shot effect, which is kind of unfortunate for it, but fortunately, this Suicune is going to be able to come in here, do heavy damage, but at the same time, Chen Pao is getting ready, so it could deal 130 anywhere on the board, which is kind of crazy. They do have access to the Cyrus, which, they could definitely pick up a easy knockout on the Suicune. Depending on what they do on the following turn is going to determine if they win or not. Starting Plains and Pokemon Center Lady is huge because it's not going to be enough to knock out the Suicune, and that's actually what you were aiming for. But he's going to go in for the Cyrus for sure because we're going to pick up a free knockout on the Baxcalibur, but at the same time, Suicune isn't putting that much damage to knock out the Magnezone, so, they're pretty much chilling at this point, I'm not going to lie. So the fact that they lost access to their Baxcalibur is kind of huge here. Now, they're kind of forced to come in with the Suicune at this point. Oh, there it is. There it is. All right. 140 on the Suicune, and that's going to wrap it up. And going to head into game number 2. This is top 4. Miraidon, started off a little shaky, but ended up coming in and, just popping off, and it's insane. Alright, so we got a Magnemite lead into the Fridgebacks. Fridgebacks is not like the ideal start, but at least you have them out on the field. You do have access to the, boats at least to like retreat into something. So you could start, retreat to your Suicunes, of course, because that's what you want to start, doing is drawing all of your cards. And that's literally the most optimal thing that you could do right now. So it's just insane. Damn. Just hovering on which Magnemite to give this thing to. I mean, the Giant Cape is kind of crazy, but at the same time, you are dropping everything here. This could be helpful for the Suicune whenever it does come out. Yeah, no, it's kind of insane. Alright, so Professor's Research is going to come into play, and that hand is looking a little fat, I am not going to lie. So, gonna drop everything right now. That Professor's Research, definitely get him what he needs, and basically going for the same play, right? You want to get the card advantage as fast as possible. You want to get that Fridgebacks online as quick so you could get your gameplay here. Honestly, the most ideal play that he could pray for at this moment is to get the Fridgebacks into, give the energy to Suicune, give a manual energy to Chen Pao, so they could, start hitting for heavy numbers. And there's a double Magneton here. No! This guy's phone died. No. No way. Okay, they came back. They came back. That was kind of insane. I'm not gonna lie. This guy's at 10%. I don't know how he's doing it without a charger. I don't know. Something's just telling me game number 2 is gonna go to this guy. Oh, the fact that the Turo is out here. Turo actually might save the game for him. This might pick up the knockout, right? No, or is it 120? Yeah, this is gonna do 120, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry. This is gonna pick up the knockout. I was correct on the 120, but, you know, it is what it is. Damn. It looks like Maridon just is sweeping, you know, sweep backs for sure. Chen Pao definitely wasn't out here doing its thing. Yeah, no, like literally anything that sure the starting planes is here, but the simple fact the 130 is not going to be enough. Oh, wait. They actually ended up plugging into the charger, so they're alive. See, the 140 here is going to be crazy because now you have the opportunity to charge with Magneton and swing with, what do you call it? Magnet Zone. Even if they end up retreating this Chen Pao to do max value with Suicune or anything that they want to do, it's just you're not in this ideal situation because you already gave up 2 points. And this is where it's just gonna be unfortunate. At least he went down with a fight, picking up a knockout. But it does look like Maridon is going to be in the grand finals, which is kind of insane. Good games, good games. So now let's take a quick look. Looks like Hana is in there with Jay. No, I lied. Let me refresh this. Is it top 4? Top 4. Oh wait, we already have a grand finals. So let me pull up Hana's. Yo, it's actually Hana's in grand finals again. 2 times in a row. In our last tournament, he was in grand finals as well. Holy. You know what? Zero Aura just might be the play. Zero Aura might be the play. So let me see if I have his list here. The one with giant cape. Cool. So let me grab that. Boom. Alright, we have both lists. We'll go grand finals. Bong. Now, one thing is these two players are really strong. So, which version are you guys rooting with? Are you guys going for Zeraora, or are you guys going for the Miraidon the Oricorio? We've seen this dance before, but there is a Gumi in this mix. So let's take a look and see how it goes. All right, so we're in the grand finals. We have Oricorio lead into double Magnemite. It's like having a stroke with the Gumi, but filling up the board in this matchup is kind of tricky too, because not only are you taken away from the Miraidon, having you want your opponent to knock out the Oricorio or the Gumi at that point. But, the Zeraora is here, and he's going to get the most value out of his strategy right now, and at least getting the 30 damage out. So, in the mirror match, at least with the Zeraora, you do have answers to Oricorio, which is actually huge here. Magneton is definitely here, charging up energy as fast as possible. It does look like they're opting in to sacrifice the Oricorio for sure, so it's going to be insane. There's the copycat. So yeah, as predicted, the Zeraora is definitely gonna hit the field and gonna go in for a quick swing, or maybe evolve into the Magneton in the back, because you do not want to be locked into a 2 retreat cost as well. So it does look like Hana's gonna fill up the board for sure, and yeah, no, he's just gonna keep poking with the Zeraora and keep charging with the Magnetons in the back. Who would have expected? Miraidon versus Miraidon is insane. So let's see what Garchomp could get out of this with, right? He has access to the other Magneton and everything, right? He has a big follow-up play that he could fall back into with Miraidon. You do have access to the Giant Cape as well too. The good thing here is your opponent Hana does not have enough energy to pop off yet. They're actually down to 2 cards. Something maybe like a copycat could also, come in clutch and, do something. But, that extra 20 HP really did something crazy. Yeah, nah, that gave me a heart attack. That literally gave me I'm looking back at the stream where he actually shut off his phone. It was kind of insane. Okay. So the Magnezone is going to come out for sure and definitely go in for the quick swing. You know, I'm not going to lie. I kind of like this Gumi tech. Gumi's actually pretty good. Because, like, the Miraidon just force swaps and everything. Alright. He keeps checking the battery. Like, literally, you're in Grand Finals. Plug that shit in. Oh, here with the Sabrina, that's going to be huge. What are you going to sacrifice? You going to put damage on the Magneton? Or are you going to sacrifice the Gumi? Tough situation to be in. With all of that energy, mind you, all of that energy in play. He could drop a Miraidon. You do not want to lose your Miraidon. Because the problem here, too, is the Zero Aura just puts an energy, but it cannot swing. Oh, wait. Are we going to get it? Are we going to get the Magnezone? The Gumi is annoying. It's not going to get knocked out for sure. That's actually huge. Because now he's just going to pick up the knockout. With the Magneton is going to get the free charge. He's going to just add his turn energy. And then he's just going to pop off. Yo. Maybe Gumi is the wave. Gumi might be the wave. That's pretty much it. That's all she wrote. We're going to head into game number 2 with Garchomp 1-2-3 in the lead. Even if he had access to the cape, that would not have caught him. That would not have saved him. Maybe I should hide the screen until they start. But yeah, that was an insane game 1 for Grand Finals. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about the way that actually played out? That it's kind of insane. I'm not gonna lie. I do like that Gumi tech. That Gumi tech is kind of insane. He's having one hell of a run. If anything, this Garchomp guy, Garchomp 1-2-3, has 14 wins and 1 loss today. 14 wins, 1 loss today. Dude, there was a Blaziken Skeldridge deck that went 9-1-2. That was wild. We're not going to talk about that. I just noticed something. All right, getting the Gumi start at in the beginning is pretty good. I mean, I think you have to use Copycat in this situation like this. You know, arguably dropping the cape here to maximize your Copycat is definitely, you know, worth questioning here. But at the same time, you know, this giant cape could make your Miraidon live forever. Or your Magnezone. Magnezone at 170 is pretty nice. It's pretty nice, I'm not going to lie. But we're going to go in and search for sure. Oh shit, I don't even know what music is playing. I'm going to keep it a stack. Oh yeah. This is good music. This is good finals music. All right, so now they do get the most optimal lead here. That they get the free energy and they get the 2 Magnemites. Is Hannah gonna get access to the Clement or the double Magneton right off the rip? Yo, no shot. This is tough. This is tough. All right, so it does look like he's just going to what do you call it? He said he sold that. Yeah, nah, definitely. Again, my stream is on a 10-minute delay, so to prevent stream sniping in any of these matches. So just letting you know. So thank you guys for coming through and watching, and we are definitely in the grand final. So this is pretty much game number 3 that we're heading into right now. So yeah, nah, it is getting late, and holy, I'm not gonna lie, I have like multiple screens open, and I looked at my OBS and then I saw a little raid alert. I'm like, oh shit, I'm getting raided. But you know, thank you, I appreciate you for the raid. You're the GOAT. So let's get this started. Game number 3 is about to start. And your name is Kicks, right? W Kicks in the chat. Alright, so starting off with the Gumi and versus the Magnemite lead from Hannah. Are we going to see access to the Zeraoras here? That's going to be the make it or break it. Okay, so the Zeraora is here. This is actually looking pretty strong for the homie Hannah here. Are we going to be able to follow up with that? Magnemite pulling up for sure. See, the thing about the Gumi, it's definitely going to make everything more annoying. Hey, he's flexing the Sabrina. He's getting reverse Sabrina. Yo, you go and flex that, and boom, you just get reversed. And that's 50 damage right off the bat. In a game number 3 in Grand Finals, this is not something you want to see. losing your Magnemite. Wow, that's huge. Hannah might have just stolen this. What is Gumi gonna do for you now? The problem here, Gumi's gonna get knocked out. Now you have to reverse Sabrina. So, like, at least Sabrina's gonna make him, like, you know, he's gonna probably have to retreat to in order to swing with the Zero Aura if he wants to get a little bit greedy. So it did buy him a turn here, because even if he evolves into anything else, it's gonna stop him. Nah, he has a Miraidon. That's what I was gonna get to at, but like he did it way before I said it. Miraidon is just gonna come here and sweep. This is looking like a crazy dominant game from Hannah. Yo, Hannah's just going ham. There's nothing else. Maybe Ori? Ori could save you? Maybe? Ain't no way. That one Sabrina was like the main game changer of this set. That one Sabrina. Alright, so now Magneton is definitely going to evolve here. Miraidon is going to see play for sure. Yeah, this is just looking a little rough. I just don't see a world where, you know, the Garchomp player could come back. I mean, Giant Cape might be nice in a situation like this too. You do have access to Turo, and you do have access to the second Miraidon. Damn, that Pokeball really needed to be second Miraidon, because the second Miraidon would have put him in an actual great situation. He still has a chance to draw or use his second Pokeball. So it's not completely over for Garchomp. No way. Now it's completely over. That was insane. Having the second Miraidon was... It was just it. It was just it. That... Yeah, nah, that was definitely it. But yeah, nah, that's gonna conclude the tournament. Congratulations to Hana. He came in second place in the other tournament, but now that Sabrina literally won him the game. That was actually one of the best Sabrinas I've seen in a while. Like, insane. Let me turn off the camera, the Discord here. But let me see if I could bring up the standings. Okay. So, let me pull this up for you guys. Alright, so we do have the metagame right here. In this 300 plus person tournament, we did have 24 Mega Altaria Espeons, 23 Sweet Backs, 20 Mega Manatrix Zero Aura, and then we had 14 Hydreigons, and then a mixture of the Miraidons, 13 down here and 10 here. So in a total of 23, being, I guess, tied with Sweet Backs for being the most represented deck in this tournament. But let's go into what do you call it, the standings. We do have Hannah here with his Zero Aura build. You know, this deck is actually pretty strong. I've literally had doubts on the Zero Aura because, like, Zero Aura, if you don't start with it, it literally becomes like kind of a dead card. But at the same time, you know, if it's working, you know, there's a reason why it's working. Coming in second place is the Miraidon Gumi build, which Garchomp was playing. This build is amazing. He went like 14-2 today, losing in the grand finals, which is insane. Maybe the Gumi tech in this is pretty good because Miraidon just lets you swoop in and, you know, swap out that Gumi. And Gumi in any, you know, situation could be super annoying and make opponents, you know, Magnet Zones not attack while after giving all the energy to Miraidon. So, like, you know, it definitely could hinder your opponent in a very good way. Third place, we have Sweet Backs. You guys already saw that. This build is pretty strong, you know, very standard. There's not much to say about that deck. And then, you know, Sleep Scam, the most represented deck in this tournament, came in 4th place over here. So, you know, you do have the, you know, old school build. I mean, it's successful. It does its thing, but like overall, we do have, you know, Hydreigon in 5th. We do have another Magnezone build. Zoroark is kind of interesting to see in this day and age, and it does look like Roaring Moon is the new card that they're adopting, and you know, overall it's pretty good. And then yeah, in 8th place, this deck is very interesting. I want to give it a shout out. Fluttermane, Leafeon, Espeon. This deck looks insane. I want to play this deck. I'm gonna try it out for sure. It does look like a good time. But overall, we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you guys for coming through, watching, and we'll see you guys next time with another tournament and another stream or whatever. But without further ado, peace.